How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Unpopular Opinion with Absolute Positive Energy. I am your host, Absolute Positive Energy. And we got a special one here today because this one is one-on-one. This one is face-to-face. If you don't know, back in the 90s scene, in the music scene, there was a sound that was being developed, which you all know now as Rapslingin or Rapslingin. I'm sitting here with one of the top originators, the number one originator of that sound. She is here and she is ready to be open and honest with you guys in this one-on-one exclusive interview. Ladies and gentlemen, Pimpstre, or better known as Artiste, the original ATO. What's good, girl?
What's good, bro? What's good? Greetings.
Let me first off start by saying this is special for me right now. To be able to have this sit down, this conversation, and to be able to share with everybody. They're about to learn something. They're about to learn something today. They're about to learn something today. Listen, if you don't know, you need to know about Zeke Talk. Make sure you're watching it on YouTube. Hey, listen, every day she's ready to teach you. She's ready to learn.
Now art bags. Now art bags.
Now art bags? No, my bad. Art bags. Make sure you check it out on YouTube, man. She's always willing to teach. She's always willing to learn. And today, she's here to be open and honest, man. So let's get right into it. All right. First of all, before Pimpstre, before Artiste, the original, who is Zalikia?
Zalikia pretty much is a family woman. The go-to. The one that understands everything. Even when she don't want to.
So you've always been family oriented, and that's basically how that's your lifestyle. Basically.
Rooted.
Gotcha. So take us to the birth origin of Pimpstre and who she is and what and how did she get that name?
Pimpstre came from me back in high school. When we was quote unquote running in our crew, it was a name given to me in high school.
And a lot of people don't know, like, crews has been always something.
Let's say start your high school.
Right. And a lot of people don't know, like, crews have always been something that's just in Atlanta.
Yeah. It went about gangs and all that.
It was always crews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What were some of the crews that was around?
You had gangs like, and crews such as Down by Law, Lady Lowdown, different things like that, Guardian Angels, things like that.
Mm-hmm. People don't know about a lot of history.
Yeah.
And a lot of that
and they was on something different. Right. They was on something different. Is that what thing?
All right. You grew up in music.
Mm-hmm.
Who and what was it that inspired you to say, yeah, music is something I want to do?
Come again?
I said, you grew up in music. Who and what was it that inspired you to say, yeah, I want to do music?
Can you check that socket over there to make sure that plugged in over there? Been down. Yeah, check that to see if it's plugged in. This cord right here. Mm-hmm. Make sure it's full. Yeah, plug it back in. In that white block. In that block. Stick it back in the block. Take that one out. Yeah, take that one out. And put that one in.
And it seems that cat has just pulled up.
Okay. I'm with you now.
You want to ask again?
Sorry for that inconvenience.
It's all good. It's all good.
Go ahead now. What you say now?
I say you grew up in music.
Mm-hmm.
Who or what it was that inspired you to say, yeah, I want to do music?
First and foremost, it was initiated through family. As a child, my uncle decided to create a group, and he decided to train us for what they call at the time the music industry or the industry. So I would say a lot of my inspirations and most faves would be like Queen Latifah, MC Light, Yo Yo, you know, Boss, you know what I'm saying? People like that, Rage, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, we can't forget our girl, right? We can't forget our girl, right?
Who you talking about?
The brat.
Oh, definitely.
Left eye, you know.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to say, was it Christmas 97 or 90? Greenbrier Mall.
Yeah. What about it?
There was a specific moment that took place.
You went way back, like
There was a
way back.
specific moment that took place at Greenbrier Mall where Pimpstre shut down the mall. What was your mind frame like once that offer was on the table that whoever wants to come up here and what were you like? What moment were you in?
Honestly, I wasn't in the mode. One thing about Uncle Reginald, he was one of those type that used to teach us, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So therefore, when it was time, when I was pushed up on the stage by family members, when I was pushed up on stage, then it was just a normal reaction, you know. It's like a second skin, you know. It's like a second skin, you know.
Let's dive back a little bit because I moved a little bit forward. So let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
Too Smooth.
Okay.
That was the name that was buzzing.
Yeah. Yeah. We were doing our thing, you know. We was on the way in, you know. We rolled with the next ups at that time.
Right.
But life happened, you know. Life happened.
So Too Smooth has always been two members.
Too Smooth has always been two members.
Right. And it was you, and at that time you were going by Z.
Right.
And
Big Z.
Your sister,
Mm-hmm.
Katika, was going by Kat.
Right. Right.
Okay. Take us to the performance that you dived off the stage. Talk about that moment. Like, I heard so much about that moment as a kid. It was like, man, I wish I was there to see that. Like, and it was like, she really jumped off stage.
I think it was a show at the Crow's Nest on National. And I think what's her name? Melissa Blackman. What it? The Blackman lady. I forgot. It's been a minute, man. I can't remember her name, but it was the Crow's Nest. They was having a showcase, and the ones who had won the showcase, they brought them back, and that was sort of like a part of the performance, just some spontaneous. It wasn't, nothing practice and then like that. Just where I was at that time.
Okay.
Where I was at that time.
A lot of music you were pushing at the time, like What's on Your Mind, the internet really didn't exist. Now with everything fingertip touch, will there ever be re-releases?
Will there ever be any more releases? I can't say no. It's in my blood. It's in my veins. So I'm always gonna do it. You feel me?
What is the origin of Zeke Talk?
Fun, friend, family, motivation, spiritual uplift. Sometimes you might get a message. Sometimes you might get motivation. Sometimes you might get a song. Sometimes you might get a dance. Sometimes you might just get me with family, fun, loving, and having a good time. It's just, being, I guess you could say, lighthearted. My lighthearted moments. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think I'm so unapproachable, but I'm very much lighthearted, I enjoy who enjoy me, you feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Zeke Talk has a following that's unlike anybody else's. What do you think is the reason for that?
You say that again?
Zeke Talk has a following like no other.
Well, I think the way
it's the people who are here that talk about the show itself, it's like, the younger generation wouldn't get it. Anybody else outside of
it can seem as though the support is lackluster. But I see it differently. I understand the reason and the purpose, and understand that it is purpose for it. And when you enjoy something, you don't have to do it so much where you saturate your people. You feel me? When you saying the right thing that they need to hear at that time, it's enough on their plate until they need to eat again. And when they need to eat again, we'll be there to feed them. So I would say Zeke Talk is pretty much, it was a situation where a cousin of mine, Breeze, asked me, you know what I'm saying? He asked me about vlogging and podcasts. And I said, I don't know. Anyway, he told me that if I tried it, he'll buy me a camera. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta try it, you feel me? Because he know how I am when it comes to cameras and things like that. So, anyway, it was a challenge. And he challenged me to do it, but the Father gave me something different with it. You know what I'm saying? It was actually supposed to be me and my sister. You know what I'm saying? Doing it together. And that didn't happen. So, the Father sent me to Ezekiel, the introduction of Ezekiel. And I learned that that was Ezekiel's nickname, you know what I'm saying, and what he stood for. And so it just resonated even more with me. And so Zeke Talk became a situation where it was supposed to have been based off me having a conversation with people on the phone the way that I do. Because sometimes we have conversations, you feel me? And so but it went somewhere else, you feel me? And so I just let it do what it needed to do at that time. He let me know off the dribble, you know what I'm saying? I know they don't remember that word, but he let me know that it was going to be not about followers, you know. I can't follow everybody, and everybody can't follow me, you feel me?
I think,
But I do appreciate the ones that do. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I have more support off camera than on camera. Ain't that something? But anyways, you know, we still keep it moving. We still keep it moving.
the and I think the one thing that I've learned to admire about you is because you I would say, would be somewhat like a community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whatever environment you're placed in, like you can adapt to it, but you can also adapt to it to a point where it don't, you know, damage you as a person. The big thing people don't talk about when it comes to you is that anybody who's been involved in the streets or been in any kind of street activity, you were able to resonate through them in ways that churches or pastors or preachers are not able to. What do you think is the reason for that?
The source, the Most High, His Son, the door, the Shire. In the Christian word, they taught us His name is Jesus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So instead of battling over names, I just learned to do what He say. Discern and test the spirit by the spirit.
That's well answered. Very well answered.
Yeah,
Very well answered. I like that one. I like that one. Also on that particular note, many will look at you and say, you know, them words. I don't want to mention. I don't want no problems. You know, that lifestyle. Okay. Are those stereotypes, or is that really the life?
It depends on what you ask them. I mean, can you clarify or elaborate?
Please don't ban me, but you know, the words, gay, lesbian.
I never been a woman of title.
Right.
I've never been a woman of title.
But that's something people also like don't know. Like at one glance, they will think that until talking to you, it's like.
And they will be right. And they will be right.
Wait, what?
And they will be right. They will be right. I just don't do labels.
Right.
But they will be right.
Gotcha. aside from music, what else drives you to create?
How much brokenness I see within our people. The lackluster in the eyes of the people that want to know truth and afraid to receive it or seek it. So many want it. So many done start seeking it, secretly, but they're afraid of how it's gonna be accepted, how people gonna treat you. Are you gonna be able to be the same you? I would tell them no. You wouldn't be the same you, because the spirit has been awakened a different way. The thinking has changed. But it's a beautiful thing to know you and for self-mastery within itself, So that's what I would say.
When you hear ahead of your time, what comes to mind?
Pimpstre.
Why?
Because that's one of the things that was always told to me by many of the record labels and different things like that. I was before my time. They wouldn't change nothing about me except I was before my time. And when you describe who Pimpstre was then to now, it was people in search for more positive spiritual teaching, renewing and elevating souls through song. And it birthed Artiste, the original. Not duplicated, imitated, copied, do nothing else, an original brand.
Would you say a lot of artists right now have, in some sense, stolen from you?
I could easily say they stole, right? But when you set the tone, when you're a trendsetter, they supposed to follow. They supposed to pick up what you do. Just make sure what you're doing is something that they can pick up where it makes them better. It's good for them. It's not going to harm them, but make them better.
She hitting out with the real. She is not playing tonight. She coming with it. Okay. You've raised a lot of kids. And all them kids, who's your favorite?
Honestly, I don't have a favorite.
See, I thought you were going to be transparent. My bad.
I'm being transparent. I am being transparent, but I don't have a favorite because each one of y'all that was allowed to be shared with me had your own special interest within itself. It can't be duplicated. Each one gave me something different. It showed me another side of me and another part of me each time. You know what I'm saying? So, the girls think I favor the boys think I favor the girls.
And
I favor them all on the same.
And it goes that way.
Right.
So y'all can be jealous all you want to.
Right.
I'm the favorite. Don't care what you think. Anyway, we're going to keep rapping and singing is something we see often nowadays. A lot of people don't know that you're really doing it way before then. What is your take on it now?
I think a lot of confusion has been perpetuated, but I also think that it's not enough open space to the artist to actually be able to creatively let their own juices and motion flow. You know, it's always be the next this, be the next that. And they try to water them down and take the essence of who that artist is.
Right.
And that's what makes them that artist. That's what makes them a great artist. Because of the essence in which they carry, that is not like anyone else's. It's just like clouds in the sky. They can always look like they shape the same, but that don't make them the same.
Right, because there are different clouds in the sky. That is scientific fact. That is scientific fact. Okay. You have an album that is over 30 years in the making. My Time, Soul, and Flesh. First of all, before I even ask this question, My Time, Soul, and Flesh. Take us to where your mindset was coming up with that name.
That's a self-work. That's the two sides of me. The yin and the yang. Both sides. The light and the dark. You know, my soul and my flesh. Sometimes they used to work together. You know what I'm saying? My mama said, get off the fence. You know? But it's a work that's truly designed from who I am. So you get my soul side, you get my flesh side.
Okay. Well, no reason to ask that question because you answered that. You answered that one. You definitely answered that one. Let's see. Women are dominating the rap scene right now in a major way. I've never said. If you'd have told me back then, hey, one day you niggas gonna have to step aside and these women finna take over. But actually, if we being correct, you did say something like that. Mm-hmm. And that was happening. Mm-hmm. What do you think is the reason it really took off the movie?
It was time. It was time. I think we as sisters have something to say. We ain't all, as they say, rowdy, trashy, misguided, misled.
Do you think a lot of that music?
You know what I'm saying? We all are not like that. You feel what I'm saying? And so it is time for the woman to be able to be truly solidified in her strength.
Right.
With no disrespect or dominance or overshadowing the king position. You know what I mean? They say behind every good man there's a good woman, a good strong woman. Well, if a woman is weak and she is to be his real and he's got a strong body, it can't be weak. Although we are the weaker vessel. I know everybody don't want me to talk about that, but it is what it is. You feel me? It don't make you weak, though.
Hey, it's unpopular opinion for no reason.
It don't make us no less a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In fact, we're very strong black women, as they say. I say brown sisters. They say black sisters. You feel me?
Do you think I've heard a lot of men say the women nowadays they speak so hard and rugged, like it's hard for a man to kind of like fall in that man role, especially dealing with what they call the alpha woman. Do you think that's a real thing, or do you think that's just
I think for so long she's been pushed to the side and say she has nothing to say. She has nothing but her nurturing, you know what I'm saying? Take care of the family, do her part, be quiet. But that's not every man, you feel me? A real king understands the strength of his woman and what she needs to come with. So therefore, she's going to be very open and understanding when it comes to the nurturing, the caring, because that is her role. You feel me? But see, with us, we multitaskers and we balance. As long as that man is a earnest man and he fits that woman, he genuinely is made for that woman, he's gonna be her balance. You understand what I'm saying? Because we gotta not just need each other anymore.
Right.
We gotta want each other the right way. You feel me? If you doing what the Father asked of us to do as a woman and a man, then guess what? You really don't need nothing but the strength that he gives you to add to something or someone else. You know? But you can't add to someone else if you depleted. You feel me? So you gotta be solid in order to add to. You know? So I would say it's the women's season. It's time that they get their flowers. You know? And sometimes it's how we talk. You feel me? Sometimes it's how we talk. Sometimes it's the patience that people have with us. Sometimes it's just understanding us. Just like we learn to understand you all. You know, it's not about the battle of the sexes. It's not about battling all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's a give and take. It's a give and take. What you willing to give and what you willing to take.
Do we plan on getting any music releases soon?
Honestly, I can never say.
Or what are you working on?
Cause with me, music can come at any time. It's not my first is not my last, but it'll always be my first love. You know, and I will always give it authentically, without strings and holes attached. So I would say the right timing, the right melody.
Sure. For sure. We're gonna close it on that. We're gonna close it out with this last question. If you had a chance to make one track that would immediately change lives, who are you collaborating with?
If I have the opportunity to make one track that would change lives, do you mean as far as that's already in the game or that's underground?
It could be either one. It doesn't matter.
I probably would say somebody like Queen, because I would want to do something when it comes to mothers, what's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can remember Ladies First, you know, and just the positive message it gave then, you feel me? I can remember, you know, certain things from different people that same game.
Right.
You know, I know that wasn't her song by herself, but it was just something about her part in that song. Like, it was something about her part and how strong and powerful it was. And with sisters, we got a lot of sides. Don't judge us for one.
Man, this has been one hell of an interview. I definitely can say that. This is definitely one of my favorites. I ain't even gonna lie. Definitely one of my favorites. For you to sit down here and have this conversation with me, it's wild. And, you know, I will, if we open the floor for questions, that's what we're gonna do.
We can do that.
At this time, we're gonna open up the floor for questions. Anybody wanna ask you something right now? This is the perfect time. Nobody? All right. You wanna ask us something?
Yeah.
Is it a serious question you finna play? Yeah. Exactly.
It's a serious question. Oh, I got a question.
No.
Go ahead, lady.
What are you supposed to ask again?
It's okay. Maybe next time. No.
So, like, how did you?
These are the children in my life now.
Right. Shout out to the kids.
So, like, how did you become the person you are today? And like the rap industry. And how did you come up?
Growth. I was trained to be an artist, but I was born an artist. But even being born, you still have to be trained.
Who inspired you to rap?
My Uncle Reginald, my mom, Mary Eli.
We ain't taking no more questions right now, man. We're gonna close it on that. This has been a pleasure. Much love. I really appreciate this from the bottom of my heart.
No problem.
Enjoy every bit of this.
No problem.
And I hope everybody was able to walk away from this like really learning something and really wanting to know who Artiste the original is now. Like and what she stands for. And for real, like make sure y'all tune in to Art of Bags. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, comment. Even if you want to hate, we invite haters. We love haters. You know, we love y'all still. You know, we got to pray for y'all. It's okay. You know what I mean? But this has been an enjoyable episode, man. For real. Really enjoyable. What you think?
I'm cool with it, you know. I ain't know what to expect, what you were gonna ask me. But, you know what I mean? I told you I'd be transparent, and I was. You feel me? You know what I mean? I told you it wasn't nothing. You know, it wasn't no limit.
Right.
You know, I do want to say, we got the Who Vision merch for sure.
Make sure you turn
That
the
we
show
doing,
that,
you
show
know.
that way, show it again.
The Who Vision merch.
Make sure you got what's
You
the
know,
website?
House of Originals at Yahoo.
House of Originals at Yahoo.
And
tell them what they can follow you on Instagram.
we can get you hooked up with some Who Vision merch. And follow me on IG, High Cloud 04.
YouTube, Artbags.
YouTube, Art Bags.
Artbags.
Used to be Zeke Talk, now Art Badge, you know. You had these clowns that we had to switch the game up. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You know what I'm saying?
And if you know, you know.
Always keeping it positive.
And if you know,
Always keeping it
you know what I'm
positive.
saying? Hey man, listen. This has been a special episode of Unpopular Opinion. I'm your host, Absolute Positive Energy, here with the one and only ATO. Hey man. So yeah. Till next time, man. Peace, love, and y'all already know. Absolute Positive Energy. Deuce.
Cow. Stop clapping. That breath stop.